What's up, everybody? This is Russell Brunson. Welcome back to the Marketing Secrets Podcast. And I hope you guys are ready for some fun.
So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us, who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that lets us get our products and our services and the things that we believe in out to the world and yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing Secrets.
All right, everyone. So I had just dropped something off my kids' school because, yes, once again, they forgot something. They sound kind of like their dad. Anyway, just want to jump on today because if you've been listening, you know that I recently hired another coach in my life. I try to have at least one, if not multiple coaches at any given time, coach me through different stuff, because I found that, in fact, I was telling my kids this last night. I said, if you want to be successful, whatever it is, like, pick the thing you want to be successful at first. So it could be school, basketball, trombone, whatever it is, and then number two is find a coach to actually coach you through it. And so that's what I told them last night when I was putting him to bed. And I told him, I was like, and I preach. I figure out stuff I want to be better at in my life, and then I go find a coach to coach me through the process, hold me accountable. So a little while ago, I was listening to a podcast from Ryan Moran and Jeff Woods, and talking about the one thing, and anyway, loved it, so called Jeff and hired him, and he's been coaching me through this thing. So I had my second coaching call today, and I wanted to post this. Paramedics driving by, because I want to make this video to kind of walk you through how to be coachable, because it's shocking to me how uncoachable most people are. And in fact, I did a Periscope about this like two years ago or something like that, about that. And it's funny because I remember when I was wrestling, I started doing freestyle and Greco, and that kind of happens during the off season. And I had this coach, his name's Greg Williams, who's now the coach at UVU. Anyway, he would go and teach me stuff, and then I remember, like, between matches, like, he pulled me aside. He's like, hey, you need a level change better, you gotta lower your whatever, and like, just walk me through what I need to do. And then I go back out and I would just do the thing he told me. And I remember because he told me afterwards, like, after, I don't know, I've been in the program probably a year or so, and he said, you're one of the most coachable athletes that I've ever had. He's like, you're not the most talented, but one of the most coachable. And I was like, well, I don't even, like, what does that mean, coachable? He's like, well, most people, I tell them what to do, and then they listen, they nod their head, and then they don't do it. And he said, with you, he's like, I tell you what to do, and said, the next match, you go and you do that thing. And he's like, that's not normal, like, most people don't do that. He said, you're really, really coachable. And I was like, I assumed everyone just did that. If they have a coach they believe in, why wouldn't they just listen to what they say and then do it? In fact, I had a podcast a couple weeks ago talking about, pick a mentor, listen, and then do, right? Like, same thing. I look at, it's funny, Dan Henry, if you guys know Dan, he's one of our Inner Circle members who bought the .com Secrets book, read the chapter on Perfect Webinar, did a Perfect Webinar within 5 months, made $1 million. So he went into the ClickFunnels group this weekend, and he was like, hey guys, he's like, I just, Russell taught the Perfect Webinar, I did it, made $1 million. Like, why aren't you guys all just doing that? Like, he was kind of confused. Okay, Dan's very coachable. And then there's like 100, as of this morning, like 170 comments from people, and it was basically 170 excuses why people hadn't done it yet. Well, I'm still working on my slides. Well, I just, I'm not really a pitch person. Oh, well, I can't figure out my offer. Oh, well, and like thing after thing. And he's like, dude, just freaking do it. Like, you got the best coach in the world to tell you. And it was funny because even one guy who was a coach was like, well, I've coached my people, it doesn't work for everyone. And Dan's comment was like, well, you must not be a very good coach then, which was awesome. So, but kind of the point of this is like, being coachable is like just doing what the coach says. And anyway, so it's been fun because I've had one coach for the last year that I'm working with on one aspect of my life, and she's been awesome. And I'm not perfect at doing what she says, but I think I'm pretty good at doing that. And then I assume, like I was with most people, but Jeff's been coaching me, and it's funny because like this was our second coaching call this morning, and one of the things he wanted me to do, I didn't have time to do it. And instead of like letting me off the hook, like, oh, it's okay, you can do it next week, he was like, anyway, I wish you could hear it. It was in the first like 30 seconds of the thing. He's like, something about what happened. I was like, oh, I'm actually doing it this week because Todd's flying. In fact, Todd's flying in today from Atlanta. Todd's my partner in ClickFunnels. And I was like, we're doing a lot of planning, stuff like that. And he was just like, he's like, I think your planning would have been better if you would actually finish this. And I was like, oh crap, probably better. And then anyway, so it's kind of like held me my feet to the fire. And then at the end of this call, he's like, basically like, okay, next week, these are things you have to have done by, he's like, when do you have these done? I was like, Friday. He's like, that's not specific enough for me. Friday at 4:30 my time. He's like, cool. And if you don't get done, what happens? I was like, you're gonna punish me, maybe? And he was like, if you don't have it done by Friday at 4:30, we're canceling the call for next Monday. I was like, oh crap. Oh, he's holding my feet to the fire. And it was like so many things I could walk you through from a coaching standpoint, what I'm enjoying about getting coached by him. But it was just making me make sure I do it right. Like, and I think one of the problems a lot of us have is we let ourselves off the hook. In fact, I did it, and I'm a very, very coachable person. And even with that, like this week, I was like, I let myself off the hook. Like, oh, I don't need to finish this part of it because of this. And yet I'd committed to getting that part done. And it was just interesting. You know, it was funny because throughout the week I was proud. Like we kind of picked out like what the one thing I was going to focus on for the week, and from that I like found the person. I found the role I was looking for. Found the person doing the interview process, like going through the whole thing, and like I was kind of like impressed at how fast I was moving, but yet I hadn't followed through on all my commitments. I'd done most of them, but not all of them, and it was just like crap. I got to remember that. Like I gotta make and keep commitments. Like people that succeed in life, there's one like really strange commonality between all of them. They're good, not just making commitments. A lot of people, everyone can make commitments. I'm gonna do this, right? I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna blah, blah, blah. Like everyone's good at making commitments, but people are successful are good at making and keeping commitments. And I failed at one of my commitments from this week, and it sucks. And I'm like, God, gosh, dang it. Like just frustrating me because I'm like, I know better than that. Like I'm someone who makes and keeps commitments, and I didn't on one of the things. I kept most of them, but I didn't keep this one. And so for those of you guys who want to be coachable and want to have success, and understanding like the big commonality is that the success people are making and keeping commitments. So again, once again, find a coach or whatever it is, and then make a commitment, and then keep that commitment, and just do it, and don't give it all the excuses. Alex Hormozy at the last Inner Circle meeting said that every sales call you're on, someone's getting sold. Either you're selling them on the product or service that they need, or they're selling you an excuse why they can't get it. And it's just like, dang, that's so interesting. Like, either we're buying the excuse or they're buying the product. And it's the same thing for us. Like if I just look at that thread of 170 plus people who like they each had their excuse why they hadn't done it yet. And Dan was like, dude, I did it, and within 5 months was a millionaire. Like, why don't you guys just do it? And like, oh well, and they're selling themselves on the excuse as opposed to just like making a commitment and then keeping the commitment. So that is my message for today. Make and keep commitments. All successful people do. They're good at making them and good at keeping them. I failed this week. I made a bunch of commitments and I kept almost all of them, but I did not keep all of them. So this week I'm going to be better. I'm going to make and keep commitments to myself, to my coaches, and to the people that I love and care about and that I work with and I work for and that I serve and all that kind of stuff. So that's my goal and my game plan, is to make and keep commitments this week. I'm going to be very specific. I'm going to write down all the commitments I make. I'm going to make sure that I keep each and every one of them, and that is the path to success. So there you go, guys. Hope that helps. Make and keep commitments. Write them down and make sure you do them, and don't let yourself off the hook. Otherwise you'll just keep making excuses. And again, if you're buying that excuse, then you didn't buy the thing you actually got to do. So that's all I got, you guys. I'm heading into the day. It's gonna be a fun week. I get to work all week. Todd's in town. We're gonna plan, we're gonna plot, we're gonna scheme, we're gonna make ClickFunnels even better, if that's possible, for all of you guys, and try to figure out how to serve you guys better at a higher level. So appreciate you all. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Marketing Secrets Podcast.
Want more marketing secrets? If so, then go get your copies of my 2 best-selling books. Book number 1 is called Expert Secrets, and you can get a free copy at expertsecrets.com. And book number 2 is called .com Secrets, and you can get your free copy at .comsecrets.com. Inside these 2 books, you'll find my top 35 secrets that we've used to become the fastest growing non-VC-backed SaaS startup company in the world.